Battlefield 1942 is an iconic first-person shooter that revolutionized multiplayer gaming, set in World War II. Its large-scale battles and diverse maps make for thrilling, strategic gameplay. The game's emphasis on teamwork and vehicle combat was groundbreaking for its time, offering an immersive experience that remains captivating even years after its release. While dated graphics may be a drawback for some, the game's innovative mechanics and timeless fun make it a classic worth revisiting for any gaming enthusiast. Battlefield Vietnam takes the franchise to the tumultuous era of the Vietnam War, offering a fresh perspective on the Battlefield series. With a diverse range of vehicles, authentic weaponry, and immersive maps, it captures the essence of the conflict remarkably well. The game's soundtrack, featuring iconic tracks from the era, adds depth to the atmosphere. However, some players found it slightly less refined compared to its predecessor, and its dated graphics may not appeal to everyone. Nonetheless, its unique setting and intense multiplayer battles make it a noteworthy addition to the Battlefield lineup, especially for history buffs and fans of the franchise. Battlefield 2 marks a significant leap forward in the franchise, introducing a more modern setting and refining the gameplay mechanics. Its emphasis on teamwork and squad-based combat sets a new standard for multiplayer shooters. The class system adds depth, encouraging strategic coordination among players. The game's large maps, diverse vehicles, and impressive graphics for its time contribute to an immersive experience. However, the absence of a single-player campaign disappointed some, and occasional technical issues marred an otherwise stellar multiplayer experience. Despite its flaws, Battlefield 2 remains a pivotal title in the series, influencing future installments and solidifying its place as a multiplayer classic. Battlefield 2 Modern Combat attempted to bring the franchise's success to consoles, offering a taste of its large-scale warfare. It introduced a single-player campaign, a departure from the series' traditional focus on multiplayer. However, the console adaptation faced challenges, leading to a scaled-down version compared to its PC counterpart. While the campaign showcased diverse missions and the signature Battlefield sandbox style, technical limitations and AI issues hindered the overall experience. The multiplayer, though limited compared to the PC version, provided enjoyable team-based battles. Despite its efforts to bridge the gap between console and PC gaming, Battlefield 2 Modern Combat fell short of replicating the franchise's full potential on consoles. Battlefield 2142 ventures into the future, offering a compelling sci-fi twist to the franchise. Set in a new ice age, the game introduces futuristic weaponry, vehicles, and a unique Titan mode that involves assaulting massive flying warships. The introduction of the Titan mode injected fresh excitement into the multiplayer experience, emphasizing team coordination and strategic gameplay. However, some criticized the game for feeling less innovative compared to its predecessors, and it faced criticism for certain balancing issues. Despite this, its unique setting and gameplay mechanics garnered a dedicated fan base, cementing its place as a notable entry in the Battlefield series. Battlefield: Bad Company marked a departure from the series' traditional approach, focusing on a single-player campaign with a more narrative-driven experience. The game introduced the Misfit B Company, offering a humorous and engaging storyline along with destructible environments, a novelty at the time. While the campaign showcased entertaining characters and a dynamic plot, the multiplayer mode felt limited compared to previous Battlefield titles, lacking the expansive maps and player count. Despite this, its humor, engaging narrative, and destructible environments made Battlefield: Bad Company a refreshing take on the series, appealing to those looking for a more story-driven FPS experience.
You know, you can shoot grenades too. Try blowing a hole in that house.
Battlefield Heroes was a departure from the conventional Battlefield formula, opting for a more lighthearted, cartoonish approach to the series. This free-to-play, third-person shooter emphasized accessible gameplay and colorful graphics, catering to a broader audience. Its class-based system and team-oriented battles offered enjoyable multiplayer experiences, albeit with simpler mechanics compared to traditional Battlefield games. However, the game's reliance on microtransactions for character customization and upgrades drew mixed opinions, creating a pay-to-win perception. Despite its casual appeal and charming art style, Battlefield Heroes struggled to maintain a sizable player base over time, eventually shutting down servers in 2015. Battlefield 1943 distilled the essence of large-scale warfare into a smaller package, offering focused, intense battles set in World War II. With only 3 maps, the game delivered fast-paced, infantry-focused combat supported by vehicular warfare. Its emphasis on team play and tight map design created engaging multiplayer experiences. However, the limited content in terms of maps and game modes left some players wanting more. Despite this, its accessible gameplay, solid mechanics, and immersive World War II setting made Battlefield 1943 a commendable and enjoyable addition to the series, especially for those seeking quick, action-packed matches. Battlefield, that company to raise the bar for the franchise, with its exceptional single-player campaign and robust multiplayer experience. The campaign continued the adventures of the Misfit Squad, delivering a compelling storyline filled with humor and engaging characters. The game's standout feature was its destructible environments, adding a layer of tactical depth to both single-player and multiplayer modes. Multiplayer shone with its diverse maps, vehicular combat, and balanced classes, offering intense battles and strategic gameplay. However, occasional balance issues and server problems slightly marred the otherwise stellar multiplayer experience. Overall, Bad Company solidified itself as a fan favorite, praised for its memorable campaign and addictive multiplayer, setting a high standard within the Battlefield series. Battlefield Online was a free-to-play iteration of the franchise tailored for the Asian market. It aimed to capture the essence of Battlefield's large-scale warfare, but faced limitations in content compared to its mainline counterparts. The game offered familiar gameplay mechanics, team-based battles, and a variety of maps but lacked the depth and polish seen in other Battlefield titles. While it attempted to cater to a wider audience with its free-to-play model, Battlefield Online struggled to gain traction outside of its targeted region and was eventually shut down in 2013. Despite its attempts to bring the Battlefield experience to an online free-to-play format, it fell short in capturing the essence and depth of its predecessors. Battlefield PLAY4F aimed to blend the Battlefield experience with a free-to-play model. It offered a mix of classic Battlefield elements, including large-scale battles, classes, and vehicles, within a free-access framework. However, the game faced criticism for its heavy reliance on microtransactions, creating a noticeable imbalance between paying and non-paying players. While attempting to capture the essence of the franchise, the gameplay and graphics felt outdated compared to contemporary titles. Despite its attempt to appeal to a wider audience with a free-to-play approach, Battlefield PLAY4F struggled to retain a sizable player base and was eventually shut down in 2015. Overall, it fell short of replicating the full Battlefield experience due to its monetization model and lack of innovation. Battlefield 3 marked a milestone in the franchise, delivering a visually stunning and immersive modern warfare experience. The game's single-player campaign showcased thrilling set pieces and a cinematic narrative, though it received mixed reviews due to a somewhat linear approach. However, where Battlefield 3 truly shined was its multiplayer mode. With expansive maps, varied classes, and intense vehicular combat, it set a new standard for large-scale, team-based shooters. The introduction of the Frostbite 2 engine brought unprecedented destruction to environments, adding a strategic layer to battles. Despite some launch issues and criticisms, Battlefield 3 remains a pivotal entry, celebrated for its multiplayer depth and impressive visuals, influencing subsequent titles in the series. Battlefield 4 expanded on the franchise's strengths, delivering a robust package of intense multiplayer action and a more refined single-player campaign. The game's multiplayer improved upon its predecessor, offering dynamic maps, diverse weaponry, and vehicular warfare that continued to define the Battlefield experience. That introduction of Levolution added an exciting element, allowing players to alter the battlefield dynamically. However, the game faced a turbulent launch plagued by technical issues, hindering its initial reception. Despite these problems, subsequent updates and patches vastly improved the overall experience. The single-player campaign, though criticized for its narrative, showcased impressive visuals and moments of exhilarating gameplay. Overall, Battlefield 4 evolved the series' multiplayer formula and, after post-launch fixes, solidified its place as a fan favorite and a cornerstone of the franchise.
Hit everyone! Straight ahead!
Battlefield Hardline breaks away from the typical military setting of the Battlefield series, placing players in an urban crime scenario. The single-player campaign, centered around Detective Nick Mendancia, delivers a gripping narrative filled with corruption and intrigue. Multiplayer modes like Heist and Hotwire inject excitement with their unique gameplay. While the departure from traditional warfare might not suit all Battlefield fans, the game's fresh perspective and solid mechanics make it a captivating and visually impressive addition to the franchise.
Suspects are on board. They've taken a package.
Battlefield 1 takes players back to the brutal theaters of World War I, offering a compelling and immersive experience. The single-player war stories provide poignant, diverse narratives that showcase different perspectives of the war. The multiplayer features intense and chaotic battles across various iconic WWI locations, delivering a refreshing change with its period, weaponry, and dynamic environments. Visually stunning and backed by solid gameplay, Battlefield 1 successfully captures the essence of the Great War, making it a standout installment in the franchise. Battlefield V presents players with a visually stunning and immersive World War I experience. The single-player war stories offer personal and emotional narratives, highlighting lesser-known aspects of the conflict. In multiplayer, the game introduces diverse maps and gameplay modes, emphasizing teamwork and strategy. However, some initial controversies and issues with content pacing during its release impacted the overall reception. Despite this, ongoing updates and improvements have refined gameplay, making Battlefield V a solid choice for fans of historical shooters seeking engaging online battles and immersive storytelling. Battlefield 2042 aimed for grandeur with its vast maps, introducing a futuristic setting and chaotic battles. However, the game faced a turbulent launch, plagued by technical issues, bugs, and incomplete features, which affected the player experience. The all-out warfare concept, with large-scale battles and dynamic weather events, showed promise but fell short due to performance issues and a lack of content depth at release. Despite these challenges, ongoing updates and community engagement aim to address concerns, potentially refining the game into a more polished experience over time.